Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobby, and I will be your guide for today. Today, I'm going to channel some messages through, and we're also going to play with the tarot and oracle cards. We're going to tune into Pleiadian energy and the Cyanians. The Cyanians, to me, they came to me in a dream, and they were high-end Pleiadian beings. They reside closer to source energy, and they can see or they can feel into many, many different dimensions and perspectives of reality. And it does depend on what perspective you're coming from as to what the message is sometimes. So I like to tune into them too, because they can give us an overall perspective of what's going on. But we are choosing the Pleiadian cards at the moment. These are star cards, and these have all of the planets of the seven sisters in them and so forth. So we will tune into that. Hey, Wade, good to see you in the chat bar. Okay, and they wanted to say that there's always another way. And that's what they titled this, is always another way. I think our logical mind likes to keep us stuck in it is only going to be this way. That's the only way that it turns out. People are relying on me. This is going to happen. This is the only way that things work in the past. And that is not true. When we tune into our soul, infinite possibilities are here to be played out. And it's only because we decide that it's going to play out a certain way via our logical mind agreeing with it and saying that's the only way it's going to play out, that's the only way it plays out. But if we say shush, if we literally say shush to our logical mind, it opens this whole new door to many, many different possibilities happening. That's why when manifesting something, don't just say, oh my God, the only way to manifest a beautiful block of land where we can have a beautiful community is that somebody wins $1 million in a circle that wants to start this. That's not the truth. There's a lot of different realities being created, people that think that their land is absolutely useless and they don't see the value in it, but you might, and you might be able to get it up cheap, pick it up cheaply. There could be anything, any number of things. People could just be, you know what, I want to start a community and I've already got a block of land, and you trip over them or whatever. I'm just giving you examples. This could relate to businesses or anything that you want to create that you feel like you're stuck in. If you feel like you're stuck in it, just let go of that logical thinking, because that's where the stuckness is held, in your logical mind saying it's the only way that it can ever happen. Let go of that and just leave the door, like see a swinging door open in your imagination, and the infinite possibilities are beyond that door. It might not be something that your logical mind or your mind can imagine at this moment, but if you leave it swinging open, it can come to you, and you don't even, all of a sudden you're like, wow, that just worked itself out. So yeah, that can happen. There's just many, 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 many new ways of everything working out. What we are focused on is what we tend to bring into our reality. So just be aware of that. Your focus, attention. Is it something that you want to see more of in your reality? Ask yourself that question. Do I want to see more of that in my reality? If you do, then by all means, focus on it. If you don't, then I would suggest asking yourself, what do I actually want to put my energy into? Excuse me. I literally woke up like that this morning. I woke up this morning and I was going over something negative, especially when it comes to the e-files, because I did go into that a little bit. And then I'm like, no, I don't want this in my reality. And I stopped it. And this is where you are now taking the reins, because you can go into something, but you have to ask yourself, like I give myself a minute, and then I say, if I can't get myself out of it in a minute, then it has hooked into me. So yeah, another good thing to ask yourself is, can I, at any given moment, get myself out of this? If you can't, it's taking you hostage. The thought is is taking you hostage, and then you're just going to end up bringing more and more of that in, and you're fueling it. You're fueling the problem. You're fueling the fear. You're fueling the ickiness that's happening out there. So yeah, ask yourself that. The Pleiadians are saying that they lighten the load. So if they have to talk about something or that is a negative thing, excuse me, if they have to talk about something that's more negative, something that they don't want to bring into their reality, they'll lighten the load by making fun of it, or like they'll put a silly name to it, or yeah, and so they still keep themselves in a higher vibe. So maybe you could do that as well, where you feel like you need to share this information with somebody so that it helps waken them, because they're in a lower reality than you, but they need to be brought up to scratch in the truth of what they have hidden their head, like buried their head from. They're showing me like an ostrich burying its head in the sand. And a tornado coming up, so to get them to understand that tornado is coming up towards them, if they don't get their head out of the sand, it's like, wake up, don't you see what's happening? And then you might want to bring up some of this stuff that you've already passed through, you've already navigated, but you don't want to bring into your reality anymore. Lighten the load a bit by just having it more fun, as you say it, like, or say to yourself, I'll go into that, but I need to pull myself out if I, in a minute, or, as soon as I've left, or whatever it is. Just be aware of how you're navigating your life. Take more responsibility. You're the only one who knows how you feel. So how you're feeling is the most important thing. If you're feeling, even if somebody, comes up to you and goes, well, you shouldn't be feeling like that. Well, they don't know who you are in your soul and how much you feel. Just ignore that, because you know yourself better than they do. They might be somebody who is more logically minded, and so they don't really understand why you're feeling the way that you feel, where you're more heart-based and feel a lot more. So yeah, that can happen too. There's a few exercises there to focus on as you're moving through these new energies, so many of them. We have Wishcraft, the cosmic enchantress. I attract a steady flow of abundance. So maybe at the moment it's a good idea to be focusing in on what you want to ground in this world, the abundance that you really want to have around you. And when you start to feel into that, and then you say to yourself, that's impossible, that can't happen, that can only happen in a certain way, then I would say shush, and then open that door, like we said at the beginning, because the cosmic enchantress, she knows damn well what she can bring in to this world, and what can be grounded. Infinite possibilities can be grounded. It's just how we perceive our world to be that we're fixated on specific, they're showing me like specific colors or vibrations, and that's what we surround ourselves with. But colors and vibrations go beyond the 7 chakras, go beyond the 7 colors, or the primary colors that are that the logical mind is fixated on as reality, goes beyond that. So when we ask the programmed mind, the programmable mind, to just shush, that logical mind, masculine mind, to shush, we're now also asking it to open up to more experiences, and beyond those limited vibrations, colors, however you want to see it, are multitude of new worlds that can be expanded into, and then you can then converse with many others. And they're showing me light balls. I literally had light balls coming up outside this window recently, and so we can then converse with them. But if we approach them that are in a higher vibe with our own fear, it will never, the twain will meet. It will never meet. So they're even saying push yourself past the fears. So another way of doing that is, if you're afraid of the dark, just slowly darken your room until you are happy in the dark. Just because you don't see things with your physical eyes doesn't mean you can't feel things. And if you do feel something that's malevolent, then I would, what I have done, I've just gone, nah, sorry, not going to be in your reality. And then I shift my thoughts out of it. And when I shift my thoughts out of it, my vibration rises out of their vibration as well. It's only the fear that's brought that malevolence in anyway. So they're actually literally showing me opportunities that could be presented while I'm living here, but I didn't want to lie in the middle of the field at nighttime because there was two reasons. There was a slight fear of, because I have seen beings out here, there's a slight fear of that, and I'm going to be completely honest, but also cane toads. But I haven't seen one cane toad since I've been here. So now that kind of fear is dissolving, which is leaving me open to the only fear that is there is the unknown beyond my logical mind, whether I lie out in the middle, because there's a lot of land around here. I can lie on any block of land out here. I mean, on this property, and see way more stars, see way more. So I'm going to pick I've only got a few more nights here, but I'm going to pick a clear night, and then I'm going to move to the central point of this property, this land, and really feel into any fears that I have and disperse of them so that I can expand my reality to be able to connect more. So that's one thing that needs to be addressed as we move into these higher dimensions. Yeah, okay. So yeah, anything is possible, right? Many different ways of things expanding and coming into your reality. Whew, very cool. Okay, we'll see what else comes up. Taking a while for any messages. Pleiadian messages, please. Pleiadian messages. Any messages from the Pleiadians? Here we go. Goddess of balance, equality. I create and foster reciprocal relationships. Oh, that's a good one for bringing in these manifesting soul tribes and that sort of thing, because when you've found that calmness and that balance within yourself, between your outer world that you're no longer afraid of and your inner world and your feelings that you're no longer afraid of, your intuition that you're no longer afraid of, and your logical mind that separates everything, is no longer in fear of anything. It actually, when you find that within yourself, you will bring in these other beings. Beings. It's interesting that I said that. You'll bring in soul tribe members, and that balance of that goddess of balance is what's needed, because we can return back to balance, and when we return back to balance, we return back to present moment awareness. We are only in the awareness of the present moment, and 99% of the time you are not in danger. It's only when we've got the logical mind fixated on something that happened in the past that we can feel that danger. And yes, we need to be able to feel if something dangerous is coming. We absolutely need to be awoken to that. but to know when to stand up, when to fight for oneself and one's right, and when to walk away, that sort of thing. We still need to, if we're in balance. It's like bringing me to the Jedis, really interesting. The Jedis in Star Wars and that sort of thing. They just were in the moment, present moment, and it gave them the gift of being able to know everything that was surrounding them, whether danger was happening or whatever. And also they could create their reality as they moved through their path, and they could literally talk somebody else that didn't know their own mind into their reality. So we're going to this. This is where we're moving towards. This is what we're actually moving towards. And yeah, so that's beautiful. But we have to be able to find balance within ourselves and be able to return to that balance at any given moment to be able to do this. This is going to cause great change in the way or perspective or perception of humanity looking at their world, because when you know you have the full reins of creating the reality that you really desire, everything else will fall away. And this is why we're seeing crumbling and stories leaking of that was held together or held humanity in a limited way, falling, now having to face a lot of stuff, because the energy is already shifted. The Pleiades, actually the Cyanians are coming through. They're saying the energy is already shifted for humanity. It's just that the story playing out needs to be processed by the logical brain, and so we have a storyline of the e-files coming out and all that sort of stuff, but it's mirroring an energy that's already present within humanity awakening and finding balance. There's a lot more of us that are starting to understand this and seeking more advice about this. So it's really, honestly, this goddess of balance is one of the most important ones, because she now can navigate anything. It's like they're showing me these two planets underneath her hands, as she literally is doing that. It's like controlling. You know how you've got control of a avatar on a game. They're showing me if you didn't have both thumbs to be able to control, you only had one thumb to control it, it's very hard to reach the other side, and then it means you're only going around in circles in the avatar game. It's a really nice way of that. They're putting it that way. I've never seen it being put that way. Love that story, because I asked them to show up in stories that other people would resonate with. So yeah, if you're a gamer, you try with one thumb to try to reach the other side of the game thing. You have to literally, it's just too difficult. So this is why we need to be able to process not only our logical mind, which has been programmed to be in charge all the time, but to say shish enough to that, to be able to bring in our intuition, our feelings, and our imagination, to be able to converse them together, to be able to create this new reality. She needs to find balance between both. To find balance between both means that our intuition needs to be just as respected as and our feelings need to be just as respected as our logical playing game of looking outside ourselves. Has to be just as respected. So yeah, interesting card there, and the information that's coming from the Pleiadians. Love that too. That's so cool. Okay, let's keep going with this. Wow, there's hardly anyone in the chat bar, but it's been a really weird feeling. Things are glitching on, I've noticed a lot of glitches happening on the phone, Facebook, social media. A lot of glitches are happening at the moment, and just got to keep on powering through, because somebody else will come and speak in the chat bar and say that they're there anyway. Annie, hey Annie, good to see you. Okay, so we have also the Aquarium star expression. I express my intuition and self-confidence with love. So yeah, this is becoming more authentically you. So the path that you are navigating now, if you've done a lot of the shadow work, is coming back into connection to that feeling base, which is connecting to your soul, which is now shining up a whole other. It's not something that somebody outside of you has told you that you are. It's something that you feel that you are. You already know this within yourself. You could have even known it when you were a child, and so forth. And then it was kind of bet out of you by, not being able to fit into the world if you think that highly of yourself, or if you think that of yourself. And so to become truly your authentic self, and acknowledge that soul essence of who you are, a whole other perspective of your personality shines forth. Your authenticity of who you are, though, is well supported when that happens, because you are coming from the inner you and asking your logical mind to now support the feelings of your soul. And so the soul is now shining as well as you move forward. So you are now navigating from a whole new perspective of yourself. You are not what you were told you were. Like I was told I was a little girl. You're going to get married. You're going to have a husband. They're going to have a good job. So don't even worry about education, because I was born in the 60s in New Zealand, and they were still pretty backwards back then, in the 70s. And it was like, yeah, you're not even going to need to worry about education. And because you're an artist, art will never get anywhere. Creativity will never get anywhere. Channeling definitely wasn't even something on the game. So all of that I am was repressed. I had a lot that was repressed because I'm such a feminine being and such an intuitive feeling-based person. It was all repressed. So now for me to connect back to my soul, I've had to ask my logical mind, not someone outside of me, because they don't understand who I am. I know who I am and how I feel, to now switch it up and say beautiful things about the power of my feminine side. But also my feminine side needs to stop attacking my logical mind, or my logical mind too, for not supporting me enough in this world. So yeah, it's really interesting. So my feminine side has been attacking my logical mind for not supporting myself. So I end up bringing in relationships where they've not been supporting me, and then I go into attack mode, and so it all falls down. I'm like, show me, show me, show me, show me, and that's outside of me, right? Where I should be going within myself. Are you speaking kindly to yourself? One of the first indications that I had that I was doing this to myself, just to help you guys out, was I was always putting my artwork was always being put down. My father said, it's a hobby, don't worry about it. And never really supported me. He told me when things were wrong. He didn't tell me when things were right. And then I had such a bad thing about myself that my art was useless. And if anyone's seen my art, it's not useless. And it took me a long time. And there was this point, I think it was early 2000s, where I just went, holy crap, I have been putting myself down about my artwork. Because my husband was, at that time, my ex-husband, he's like, you're doing it all wrong, or did you use a fat paintbrush for that? It was really fine detail too. And he was just getting at me. And then I went into this whole victimization sort of scenario. But when I looked at it, I was already saying to myself, oh, it's not going to be good enough. It's never going to be good enough. And that was just reflected by him. He just showed me that in a reality that I was already playing out in my head. So I switched it up to, my artwork is great. My artwork is great. And it felt foreign. It felt wrong. It felt weird. But then as soon as I started to do that, I ended up meeting one of my eldest daughter's best friend's mother. And she saw my artwork and went, oh my God, that is amazing. And I'm like, well, you're the first person in my life to say that. but I just realized I'd just been switching it up. So this is where we can navigate a whole new path. By the way, we've got to really start to take responsibility for the way that we're talking to ourselves and thinking about ourselves, because it's only going to be reflected outside of us. And these new higher vibrations, especially, very quickly, it will be reflected back to you. Okay, new paths though. In any ways, there's many, many multitude of ways that are possible. The reason why they wanted to say that is because when we start to find clarity of mind, when we find balance of mind, and we find clarity in expressing with confidence who we are, it opens up neuron paths in our brain that were held hostage with fear programs. And we can now face the fears, and then it switches that to no longer being a fear program, which wasn't really something to be a fear of. It was just something that maybe a program somebody told you outside of you, news that you watched, programs that you watched and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, this is what reality is, and I have to be such fear of it. So then you keep on driving yourself towards that neuron path. Literally attracts those sort of people to come towards you and creates the fear into your reality. They're showing me a beautiful soul. I'm going to say beautiful soul. She just wasn't aware enough of her power, who was constantly saying, no matter where I go, problems happen, things happen. And then she came up to me the next day and said, you'll never guess what happened. I walked into a photography shop to buy a camera, and it was robbed in front of me. And I had all this, and I'm like, how does somebody have so many problems? Because she was constantly saying to herself that she has problems happening around her. And so she, in her energy value, will seek out that shop, that time when that robbery was going to happen, literally pull herself towards it. But if she switched that up and she said to herself, through the power of that, being able to create a reality, oh my God, everything happens right for me. I'm always taken to the right scenarios. I'm attracting benevolent beings to me. I get messages beyond. I can attract the right soul value community to me. All of that. Then can you imagine the different choices she'd make? She wouldn't even go to that photography shop. She wouldn't even go to that camera shop. She would be in another path over here, navigating, buying up land with people and stuff like that. So this is where we've got to unstick our minds so that our reality is created around us by the different ways that we're thinking. We're thinking completely different ways. This is where any possibility, anything can happen. But it does start with you. We have fear set in for ourselves so that we know of danger coming. But we're talking a teeny percentage of if that was even going to happen. And it's usually because the energy is already pulling towards negative energy coming in to shut something down. And that was the past. That's humanity eons ago. We're actually really in a fun time now. We're coming out of the fear and we're navigating our life into a whole new game that is setting off these neuron paths that have capabilities and connections beyond the normal connections. So that in itself means that this is meant to be, this will get easier, is what they're saying. This will get easier and easier as we go along, instead of more and more difficult, like it was with the fall of the Babylon and, the fall of telepathy and the fall of all of that a long time ago. And we've been holding on to that fall for so long now. It's time to try something different. And that's the other thing. People don't, they're saying, yeah, but you'll only, you'll be naive and you won't be able to navigate if somebody is thinking negatively. No, that's not how it works. It's like I'm clearer now, and I choose my feelings over my thoughts more now. So if someone comes to me and there's no reason for it, but they're feeling like a narcissist, I stay well away from them. I won't even go near them anymore. And it's taken me a few relationships of narcissism to be able to get to that point, and understand the value that I could actually feel into that. And I always did. I always felt into it. Mother of Sea, Goddess, 44. I love that. I surrendered to boundless creative flow of the ocean. So very much a lot of these messages are to do with us creating a whole new path here, totally new path, and it all starts with you. So that's beautiful. I'll see what else comes up. I think I'll grab the animal cards and see what else comes up. Wow, it's just no one in the chat bar. It's so bizarre. So usually I'm like, boom, boom, boom. There's heaps in the chat bar, and it's not. I don't know what's happening with all of that. Maybe I'm also feeling into, with the fall and collapse of things, maybe the internet and everything will start to fall away. We will start to create these communities now that are land-based, that are more physically based. Telepathy will be our new internet. And maybe this is just the beginning of the end of something that is necessary to happen as we move along. So those that know their feelings more will be able to teach and guide the others that don't. And it's nothing to do with true core beliefs and values other than the heart space, they're saying. Yes, you will navigate towards those that have more belief patterns that are aligned with you, but you can still connect with others that have different beliefs. They might form a new community or a different community over there, but that's okay, because then you've got differences that are on this planet that are fun to explore later. So just go with the flow. Okay, so we have the penguin coming up, authenticity. Yeah, authentic, not surprised. So even in the animal cards, reach out to your tribe. No way. Isn't that funny? I love that when the cards pop out exactly what I was saying. So yeah. Okay, so it says, reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. That is so cool. Authenticity, literally everything that I've been talking about. Authenticity, bringing in your soul tribe members, not to have any fear around this anymore. I love that when the cards do that. Is there another? Links, keeper of secrets. And I feel that the keeper of secrets is like your neuron paths in your brain that have been held by fear, lighting up and showing you all these cool, wonderful gifts that you've been repressing because you were scared of the light, and being able to try to fit into this reality. And what are people going to think of you if you say that you're telepathic and so forth? I mean, they're slowly coming out of the woodworks where people are showing up as so-called magicians. There are real magicians out there that are tricksters with their hands and stuff. But I think that there's a lot of younger guys or younger people that already had the ability to be able to, telekinetic and all that sort of stuff, are now showing up their gifts through being a magician. But now we'll see this leakage of, well, actually, I'm not just a magician. I actually have these abilities that they're showing up. 2026, they're shown with the fire horse. This is the year of authenticity and the fire of the heart and really knowing where one's going. So I feel like these secrets are going to be showing up again. Take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your own knowing. And this is it. It's not about trusting another person. It's about trusting you, choosing that other person to be in your life. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. So definitely that present moment awareness of knowing those stuff and being able to return back to that silence within one's mind. whenever we feel like we're being pulled away from source energy, or love of oneself, whatever you want to call it. Because I just see source, soul as love, and then I see this reality as going on a journey, love going on a journey. They always bring me to the word, the universe as well. And they break it up to uni meaning one and verse meaning a song. And you are singing your song, you're singing your vibration, or verse meaning vibration. So this is your universe. This is your inner universe reflected out, and then reality happens, right? And the more of us that collectively come together with this new universe, this new one vibration from you, more of us that start to connect, we create in our outer world a whole new universe. And that whole new universe is going to be lit up with way more, if it comes from love, way more vibrations. They're showing me a scale where they actually measured fear, and fear was a slower scale, a lot longer, only met the DNA at a lot longer, sparser points. And then they showed love being quicker, like this, a higher vibration, and it met the DNA at many, many, many more points. So when we are sending love to ourselves and loving our life and who we are, we're activating our DNA, and all of these secrets that have been held, that were repressed through fear because we weren't connected to it. And that was the separation. So we're coming back to our full capability of being able to navigate the universe, or our reality, our universe, our innerverse, to be able to create something completely new. Okay. Just had Yin come through my phone. I'm going live and she's like sending me messages in the phone. Okay. I want to pack these ones up for some reason. And it's 9:30. I think that we will open the chat bar soon. I'll just do a few more messages because there's not that many people in the chat bar. So, I mean, that's going to be easy to read, 3 people. I don't know. Usually there's heaps more. So interesting. Yeah, I'm going to grab this pack. If there's more people watching, I can't tell how many people are watching. If there's more people watching and you want a reading, just let me know in the chat bar that you exist, because it's a bit weird this morning, isn't it? It's just funny. No, doesn't matter. Okay. Any more messages from the Pleiadians, please, or the Cyanians? Vulnerability is another one that's coming up as well. You know, when you have those dreams, where those naked dreams, and you're like, ugh, and that's because you're feeling vulnerable in the world. But for some reason, they're like bringing up feeling vulnerable is actually another place where you can come from more understanding of yourself and who you are, and the victimization that you've held. So feel into the vulnerabilities, feel into them so that you can find out what you need to shift and to help navigate and that sort of thing. I dropped 2 other comments and they were erased. Anyone else seeing my comments? Celtic, that's interesting. I can see you now, Sky and Celtic. Okay, see, there's a glitch. There was a glitch in the chat bar. How's that, right? Yeah, there's been these weird glitches. I've seen them everywhere happening within the, maybe it's because of the solar flares and everything. I don't even know if there is one at the moment, but maybe there's all these things happening that is glitching the system, which is not a bad thing. Like if it all falls down, guys, then go find your soul tribe, find a block of land in your soul tribe, and go create that reality that you really wanted. I also commented earlier, yeah, it wasn't coming through. Okay, how bizarre. Okay, I'm glad it was a glitch then. Kind of glad that. Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting where we go to next. I actually went to a bit of a party with Campbell Purvis and Autodetector. I can't remember what it's called. I always forget that name. And Kelly, and yeah, met them for real now. So yeah, it was very interesting. But I feel they're creating a different community over there. You know, more to do with the Tartarian stuff and all of that. But it's nice to have that heartfelt bridge, because I'm definitely creating something else to do with Pleiadian energy, yeah, and more feeling based with Earth and portals and the fun of all of that, plus heart based, you know, really getting into the gardening and stuff. I'm sure they're doing that too. But anyway, we at least have a connection, which is, it's nice to know that there's a beautiful hub over there that's creating that, and I want to create something else over here, and then we will meet through the heart and be able to experience each other's experiences, because they want to build an airship. How cool would that be, right? Okay, so uncontrolled feelings is coming up. When we are navigating this path at this moment, when it comes to intense energies and facing off with things that we've been like gifts of ourselves that we've been repressing, it can come through as uncontrolled or emotions and feelings. So don't see them always as dark things. Just see them as something of a clearing, because they're showing me up the storm that can hit you, but a storm will always clear the energy for new growth. Literal negative ions will make the lawn grow faster, and that when there's storms around. And so it's like a clearing of the air. But it might zap you, and then you're like, you know, you kind of go through the whole crazy ass emotion, and that the more that you can feel into it to get to the bottom of it, the more that you might uncover the ability to be able to uncover a repressed gift of yours. So use them, use those moments. That's what that's showing me anyway at the moment, to use those moments. Cool. Horse Haven's here as well. Mr. Sabuku 78's here. Yay. I'm glad that people are there. All is one. Good to see you guys in the chat bar. Yay. Oh, that's why maybe Yin was sending me a message on the phone. We can't get, our comments aren't coming up. I'll read it later. Sky, I mean, that's funny. Okay, here we go. Okay, we have one popped out, and it is so cool. I love this. Golden light. Interesting. No way. On the back of the deck, golden light. Emotional desert, that one. Isolation. But I always see this card, this desert, as like a new beginning. Like if you're feeling lonely at the moment, it's only because you've pulled away from, or you haven't felt into that DNA that has that connection to your soul family anyway. Archangel Haniel, joy, blessings, and intuition. So through your intuition, you're going to now ask to ground a new story, a joyful story, more abundance, because there's, you know, a lot of gold here, and more abundant story for you as well. She's holding up that chicken, and she's seeing, and to see the value in what's already present on earth. In other words, go out to the land and see the value of all the animals that are around you. There's abundance everywhere. I've been watching a lot of these shows that are, you know, like an island, abandoned island, or nobody living there, and somebody coming in and then building a house, and they have to start from complete scratch. And they're all young people that are doing this, right? And then they get on social media and show other people that they're doing this. So there's all this new path that's been created by realizing there's a lot more land out there, and whether that land is in existence they're showing me, the Pleiadians are showing me, is the world really a solid thing? So interesting. Are you creating it through your vibration, and new lands will form, or new lands will just appear because you have created those new lands from within you that are sustainable because you're sustaining yourself? Interesting message there. So then what is reality, right? Is it a round ball that's floating in space, or is it the vibration that you're meeting from yourself and causing a whole new story to be developed? This is why they program us to say there's too many people on Earth and that. But in your reality, you don't meet all those people. You just are told that. So does it actually exist? So cool. I love their messages. Okay. I am going to, haven't even touched the tarot today. We've just been doing oracle and channeling. I am going to open up the chat bar for some chat bar readings. So if anyone wants a chat bar reading, please do so. Meanwhile, this card's come out, inner voice. Really, really listen to your inner voice. This is going to be the key, one of the keys for you to evolve into a higher vibe, by listening to your inner voice and what you had been telling yourself, and then changing it up, deciding to shift that inner voice if it is a negative voice, if it is telling you something unworthy, or that you're not popular, or nothing ever works for you, and that sort of stuff. Change it up and see what happens. I know in my reality, I'm coming across some beautiful people, some beautiful souls now that want to create a community. How it all develops, I think that our energy will pull together, and then we will create. I mean, Queensland's such a beautiful place to create from, because we have so much in the oceans around Queensland. We have so much that can grow around here, food wise as well. The temperature is very nice. We're lucky. We do get the we can get a pretty hot summer here, but I'm lower part of Queensland and Brisbane area, and the environment is pretty cool. Like spring and autumn is perfect, and then we get a little hotter in summer, and we get a little cooler in winter, so we can still have our fireplaces and that sort of thing. I love it. I love the temperature here and the abundance that's around us. All we have to do is plant the seeds, right? And do a little bit of physical work or whatever, which I love anyway. So how much fun would that be, creating a whole new community? I can't wait. Can't wait. And I see that's where I'm going now. Anyway, inner voice. Right. Let's do some chat bar readings. If you're leaving now, thank you for being part of this team, this cyber team. And if you're staying, one of these messages might also be for you. You will feel into it and you'll know that it's for you. So, Annie, yes, please. Let's choose a card for Annie. Okay, yeah, so we might be having a bit of problems with the chat bar. Sorry, guys. I might just choose, if nobody says yes, please, which I know most people would, I might just take it on as, you guys, if you're there, you want a reading. So, because the chat bar's stuck. Okay, Annie. Annie. Let's feel into Annie, please. Messages from Pleiadians for Annie. We have two that's come up. We have letting go, and we have going with the flow. There's a new phase. I feel like there's a whole new phase for you, like a whole new phase. Some whole new thing coming up for you. I'm going to choose one more card. Letting go is like a drop in the ocean, and you becoming the ocean, becoming the observer of not only your reality, and this is why you need to go the flow with this, not only your reality, but it's like a connection to many others, or many other things, or many other lives or many something more, and you become the pond, you become the ocean. Because it's showing me when I connected to oneness, I could feel into me and my partner at the time, and then the annoyance of that made me shift out of myself more, and I'd become a higher vibe. So then I become aware of my household, and then I shifted out of that further up, and then I become aware of the neighborhood. And it's all to do with you and how you perceive all of that, until I became the feeling of everything. I literally went all the way out to the universe, and then I saw the Taurus energy. So I become one. You become one with all reality. Now, all reality only exists within your, it's not just your logical mind, it's also your feelings. Because within your feelings, you hold other lifetimes, other understandings. So that, yeah, they're really taking me to a whole new game with you. So I'm just, yeah, I'll leave it at that though. That was interesting. Very interesting. Who else have we got here? Mr. Sabaku. Sabaku. I had one that just fell out then, but I put it back in. We'll start again. Okay. Sabaku. Message, please. Message to help guide from the Pleiadians. Okay, so we definitely have silence coming in. So definitely learn to still your mind. Okay, I'm seeing another up leveling with this one as well. Very interesting. It's like they gave me to silence my mind. First of all, I had to control my mind, so I learned to control it. And then they said, well, now you've got the hang of controlling your mind. Now we're going to bring in the imagination to imagine a new story. And then I used my imagination to imagine a new story. I'm still working with that one, by the way. It's a progress. And then, but in this moment in time, they showed me the levels of awareness that you can have, and I've kind of gone back and forth through them. And now they're saying, they said to me, still the mind. If you can still the mind, all possibilities are on the table, because in that stillness, nothing exists and everything exists all at the same time. So I think that they're asking you to find silence within yourself so that you can navigate a new path, or create a whole new path before you. You are in you have always been in charge of your own feelings and thoughts, which is navigating a new path that resonates for you, instead of listening to old stories, old mind thoughts of how things didn't happen in the past. But the only reason why they didn't happen in the past is because you were stuck in the wrong energy and you didn't know the value of yourself being able to shift up your story. So find a true silence within yourself as much as you possibly can, and a new path will start to form outside of you through the focus or attention that you have in what you watch and what you bring in, and what you decide is the people that you want to bring in. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Okay, I will do a reading for Celtic, because she's always helpful with the thingies, and all is one, because I don't think that the chat bar is working very well today. It's stuck. So we'll go Celtic, and I'll put into the cards that if you don't want a reading, nothing will come out of the cards. Okay, something coming out of the cards. So we have understanding. Understanding is like opening a new see, there's always another way. Isn't it interesting that this whole thing is called There's Always Another Way? And then we have the chat bar stuck, and I will find another way. So now I'm asking intuition. If the cards don't pop out, you don't want a reading. If the cards do pop out, you do want a reading. That's how I'm going to see it, because I need to have some sort of, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. Understanding. Okay, an understanding. you know what that's showing me? I think that there's something that you're holding on to just in case. It almost feels like a just in case, because they're showing me this wing that is on the other side of this, like the still in the imprisoned cage, and it's kind of hooked. They're showing me it hooked in, and so there's something that you still. It's like if I let that go, then I'm going to be free, and then I really don't know where I'm going. It's almost like a fear of the unknown, because when you're out of the cage, you know the cages can be very comfortable, and you can sit in a cage forever and say, oh, I feel safe here. But you don't explore anything. You're not as free as those other birds that are seeing as an observer whole other freaking countries and tree lines and rivers and all that beautiful stuff that's in the world. No, this bird will only see the cage, and they get a comfort zone of feeling protected, but it's actually the limitation is what's killing it as well, because the limitation will mean that the soul doesn't feel very good in the cage. So they're showing me something like that, and you finally that well this reading is asking you, what part of yourself are you still hooked into that is making you feel safe but not giving you the freedom that you could explore. Just ask yourself that question. Okay, right. Who else have we got? We've got I said all is one, so I will do all is one. And yeah, cards are wanting to come out with that, so that's good. Okay, yeah, whoa. Compromise, all is one. There's something, be aware of that which you're compromising your soul's value to try to hold on to something in this world that you think is the only path that it can move through. It's like, imagine, I'm kind of seeing a scenario where somebody is in your reality and you're compromising your truth to them, who you really truly feel you are and what you feel you should be doing in each given moment that makes you happy, to try to appease them, but they're actually trying to appease you. So you're both hooked into something that is appeasing each other and not allowing it to one unhooks and just starts to do what makes them feel really happy in the moment and their soul happy, actually frees the other person up to do the same. It's a codependency kind of a thing. I think there's a fear of a separation from that person, or a separation from that thing that's holding you hostage to it with each other. But when you let something free, the true essence of whether it's supposed to be in your life or not will always boomerang back to you anyway. They're showing me a poster I saw on my wall when I was a teenager, and it had a poem about letting something be free means if it returns, it was always yours to begin with, that kind of thing. Okay, just that was for you, all as one, and I just got the message, yes please. So yeah, who else have we got? Sky. Whew. Sky. We have the Creator in reverse. Really, this is the only card that's been folded. My youngest daughter folded this card in the central point there. She didn't fold it in half. She folded it at the core essence of that. There's something to do with that, coming back into the light of oneself. Creator. And for some reason, they're showing this behind this person, like a manifestation will pull forward when you align yourself in a certain way. Yeah, you're creating this. It was in reverse, though. Weird that it was in reverse, because now they're showing up that as a cross, as in like a religious cross. And religion to me is something that you're trying to fit into. There's something that you're trying to fit into to be able to be accepted by the world, how to navigate this world. Oh fuck, Sorry, excuse my language. I'm not quite getting that. It's like I can feel it, but I'm not quite getting the words for it. We have nothingness. And that's in reverse as well, which is something about manifesting something from nothingness, but we have to return to nothingness to manifest the somethingness. Traveling in reverse as well. This is definitely going to happen, though. Traveling card is a positive card in its own right. In reverse, it's like you're feeling a little stuck at the moment, but it is going to happen. And then slowing down. Yeah, so it's all, I'm literally getting dizzy trying to tune into this. Something about slowing down. It might be because it's a message for myself as well. And sitting in the nothingness for a bit. Sitting in the nothingness or the no mindness or and it's going to manifest out of this. There's a golden light that is within you that will manifest out of this. We'll leave it there because my head's going dizzy. Okay. Horsehaven. That's funny. Okay. We have integration for you. Now they're bringing me to the wall with the fish on it and the balance of the fish, integration of the mind and the outer worlds. Everything's coming together. A newfound purpose. You know what? If I tune into you, Horsehaven, I feel like there's a mind thing that is still holding you into a personality that it's like repressing you or stopping you from becoming more. We have set sort of personalities within ourselves, and it is like an amalgamation of the spirit and or past lives and what we have in our logical mind, and that emanates a certain personality which people tune into and take from it what they perceive is your personality. That's always coming from them. But there's something from you within yourself that is kind of like capping you or limiting you. They're showing me it to here. And it's just the matter of breaking through this wall through integration of wholeness, of acceptance, accepting something that you've been pushing against, repressing. It's a way of thinking, Okay, I'll leave it there though, otherwise, but there's something that it will break through. I really feel it will break through in the end. BoobTube blocked me from the chat bar. Who is BoobTube? I don't even know who that person is. There is no BoobTube on my chat bar. What's BoobTube? Don't know. Okay. Yeah. Just interesting what's been happening with the whole chat bar thing this whole time, right? It is what it is. And there's always another way around things. I am so happy that I could at least give you guys a full reading. I'm feeling inspired to come on tomorrow. I don't care about the chat bar and all of that. I feel inspired. I might come on tomorrow again and do another tarot reading and oracle reading and general reading and see what happens. I might do that. So look out for that one. Bye.